Hi everybody, hope you're all well. Do you know, I thought I would actually do a review video for this one. I haven't done one of them for ages. The last few videos I've done have just basically been me, comic book unbagging, sorry, and my figurine collection. I do have one more figurine collection video to put up, which technical difficulties, but I'll explain that in the video later on. But yeah, I thought I haven't actually done a review video for quite some time, so I thought I've got two brand new comics. They only come out last Wednesday. I thought I'd do a quick review video. Now, one of these comics I've been waiting for months, absolutely months. And I think some of you guys out there have been waiting for it as well. But I'm going to leave that one to last. First one, what would you do if you found out you had been cloned? Well, that's what the new series from Image Comics, Clone, asks. Sort of. We start off with your average Joe. He wakes up from a weird dream where he's been shot by an unknown assailant. Nothing particularly strange there, I suppose you could say. I mean, we've all woken up from dreams where strange things have happened. But that's only the beginning of the strangeness. He comes home from work and he finds himself sat in his kitchen bleeding from a gunshot wound. Now that's pretty strange. What's even more stranger is the fact that he finds out from himself, this clone bleeding out on his kitchen floor, that he's not the only one. He's been cloned several times as well before, and some of those clones are after his girlfriend and his unborn child. Now, not only does he have to figure out why his clones, or some of his clones, are after his girlfriend and his unborn child, but also, is he the original, or is he just another clone? It's by David Schulner and Juan Jose Ripe. You have to excuse me, you know I'm terrible with names. And for a first issue, it was really good. It got me hooked. I want to know more. And a lot of the times you get a first issue and it plods along. You get a bit of supposition. You get a bit of character background in that, and then you get the cliffhanger at the end that hopefully makes you want to get in and get the second issue. This is just action from the beginning. From him waking up from his dream where he gets shot by as I said, unseen assailant, to the mad dash across town to get to his pregnant girlfriend before one of his clones does. Does he make it? Well, you have to find out. You have to buy it yourself. I'm not going to spoil it for you. On a whole, it's a really good book. It got me interested. Really nice artwork by Juan Jose Ripe. And I am really looking forward to issue 2. Talking of issue 2, this, as I said, I have been waiting for months. It was supposed to have come out in June, July time. It didn't turn up then. It was supposed to come out at the end of August. It didn't turn up then. It was supposed to come out at the end of October. It didn't turn out then. Most people by then would get cheesed off. After I saw this comic and I saw the artwork inside, I couldn't be angry with this comic. I couldn't be angry with IDW for making me wait for this comic. It's Frankenstein Alive Alive #2 by Steve Niles and Bernie Writson. It was well worth the wait, I tell you. I've had to hang around for comics that have been written by Kevin Smith. I'm still waiting for the final issue of Infinity Vacation to be brought out. I'd love to know if that has been brought out or not. I'm still waiting for issue 3 of Mondo by Ted McKeever. I don't know if that's been brought out yet either. Oh, that rhymed. But this you can see why it took so long for it to come out. Steve Niles' writing in this is good. It is really good. If you've read his 30 Days of Nights, if you've read what else have you read? The Simon Dark from DC Comics, you'll know that he is a really good writer. He's a really good suspense and horror writer. But Bernie Wrightson's artwork in this just takes everything away from Steve Niles. I mean, you could have Neil Gaiman writing this story. You could have William Shakespeare writing this story. Name any famous, well-known writer. Think of anyone and get them to write this story, and Bernie Wrightson's art would just put them into the shade completely. I have got to say I've been a big fan of Bernie Wrightson for years, from reading the horror magazines we got over here, the black and white ones. I think his artwork went a little bit astray recently when you had things like the George A. Romero series Toe Tag from DC Comics, and also there was another series called Dead She Said. But I don't think it was his artwork. I think it was the fact that they were colour. Bernie Wrightson artwork does best with the least amount of colour. Sepia, fantastic. Black and white is just amazing. I'm going to show you, and this camera, this webcam is not going to do this justice. I'm going to show you this, and Mr. Wrightson, if you're out there and you're watching this video, you're right, like you are, and you have this or a print of this, I would love this as a Christmas present. Seriously, or anybody actually, anybody, I would love this as a Christmas present. Just look at the artwork on that. Look at the detail that Bernie Wrightson's put into this. It is, anybody who says that comic books are not a form of art really need to get their sanctimonious heads out their arses. Just look at this. This is something that could quite happily should be on a wall somewhere. I mean, this next thing here, even though all these books that he's drawn every single book, you know, and even though there's no writing on the books, it still looks like you can read what each book says, even though there's no actual writing on there. Bernie Wrightson's artwork, the artwork in here is just absolutely phenomenal. When I opened it up and I read it, my jaw just hit the floor. I was completely. I stared at that page for a good 5 minutes. It was like a Where's Wally sort of thing, but without Wally and with better artwork and with more interesting things to look at. You know, it doesn't matter where you put your eye. It's such a pity. It is such a pity that they had to put these two panels here. But even though they put those two panels there, those two panels are just amazing. I mean, there really is only a handful of artists that I would be, you know, in awe with meeting. Alex Ross is one of them, and Dave Gibbons is another, and Bernie Wrightson is another one. Sadly, Joe Kubert, I'm not going to get a chance to meet him now, unfortunately, due to his passing recently and that. But you know, this is one of those comics where you could quite easily read it without any words. If you remember, quite a few years ago, Marvel Comics brought out the series of comics Nuff Said, where they had comics where they had no speech bubbles or thought text or anything like that in the whole comic. This is one of those comics where you could read it without the words. Wrightson's artwork in it just tells you the story. In fact, I would like to see that. Anybody from IDW, or anybody who knows anybody who has got something to do with IDW, I would like to see a reprint of this, yeah, with no word bubbles, just the pictures in it, just Bernie Wrightson's pictures in it. And like I said, the actual story by Steve Niles is a brilliant story. It took me 2 or 3 reads to actually get the story, because every time I opened the book up, the artwork just grabbed me. But you know, it is a fantastic story. But Bernie Wrightson's artwork in it is just absolutely phenomenal. It is just, oh, I can't wait for issue 3 to turn up now. It's just one of those things where, you know, I know I keep on banging on about DC Comics and the reboot, but the reboot, and as well as that, Marvel Comics with their Marvel Now thing and renumbering everything, it really did bring a downer for comics for me. You know, I was really sort of thinking, what's, you know, okay, I enjoy reading comic books still, but you know, what is the fundamental basis of comic books? Is it still there for me? You know, I mean, especially if a comic book company that I've spent a lot of my time and my energy and my money into reading the characters can just, at their own, you know, whim, just wipe everything clean and change all the characters that I've enjoyed for decades, you know, without, you know, and their basic feeling is, well, if you're an old comic book character, if you're an old comic book fan of DC Universe, tough. If you don't like it, tough. Same with Marvel Comics, it seems. You know, I mean, they seem to change their status quo on their comic books every 2 years. You know, which, okay, yeah, I know, I understand they've got to keep the comics fresh and new, but you know, is it working? You know, but this comic reminded me why I like comic books and why I love comic books and why they are part of my life. And you know, it is just, if you haven't got this, seriously, if you like horror comics, if you like Steve Niles, if you like Bernie Wrightson's artwork, or if you just want something different to read than the flashy superheroes running around flying and beating each other up, pick that up, because it is just, oh, it's just amazing. Yeah, that's all I can say on it, really. So there you go. That's sorry, that's me finished gushing and dribbling over a comic book. Thank you for watching. If you have anything else to add to that, if you disagree with what I say, or even if you agree with what I say, comment section down below. That's what it's there for. If you like the video, thumbs it up, and if you didn't like the video, feel free to thumbs it down. But as I always say, don't just thumbs it down. Okay? Say why you didn't like it. Say why you didn't like the video. Do you not agree with what I say about the comics? You know, do you think there's something else I can do with these sets of videos that I do, or you know what? Give me some input. You know. So, thanks again for watching. Take care, and you never know, I might actually be able to do another review video sometime soon. Ta-ta for now.